You're watching JT the Ag Guy. Today, we're working on 4-H projects. Kind of. So there are two different types of 4-H projects. There are animal projects, which we obviously do, but there's also building projects. We also do a couple of those every single year. I'm part of a group called YCC. It's a Youth County Council. Basically, it helps plan stuff for the fair, put stuff together. But one of the things we're thinking about doing this year is a petting zoo. And I joked that, hey, I'll bring ducks and I'll make a duck slide for them. And, I kind of had started the process of making a duck slide for the ducks. Yeah. Obviously, this is not the finished product. I'm just trying to test a couple different things, like the height, the angle of the slide, all those kind of different variables. Yeah. Okay, we're going to try to take one of the ducks. Oh, that one got out. Come here. It's okay, buddy. It's kind of hard to do this one-handed, but... So this is going to be like a ramp. I'm thinking about putting sides on so they don't fall off. There we go. All right, buddy, go slide. Yay! I mean, I think they enjoy it, so that's good at least. So I think I got the angle and everything the way I want it, so I'm going to take a couple measurements, figure out a couple things, and yeah. Now, obviously, this is not what this is going to look like. There's not going to be a cinder block there. There's not going to be, it's not going to look like this. It's going to look put together, uniformed. I'm going to use some wood to put it together, but basically just trying to get a basic idea how high I want it, like the angle of the slide and all that, those different kinds of things. Okay, so I'm in the shop right now kind of writing out a plan of what I want to do with this whole entire duck slide. And I got a couple measurements, and yeah, I'll kind of show you guys what I'm doing. So right now what we have is I'm going to have the platform for the ducks to like kind of sit on before they go onto the slide at about 20.5 inches. That's what I'm planning on making. The ramp to go up, so the ramp to go up to that platform. So basically the platform is what the cinder block was. These are going to be farther away. Is going to be about 44 inches. I don't know how far apart I'm going to have this yet. I got to kind of figure that out a little bit more. But right now I'm trying to look for materials to figure out how I'm going to do it. Slide's roughly 33 inches. I like the length of it. I don't like the width of it, which is about 31 inches. So, well, 31 and a quarter really. So we're probably going to cut it down a little bit width-wise, but length-wise is going to about stay the same. As for this, I'm still trying to figure out how wide I want it. I'm just looking for material right now, but I figured I'd give you guys like a little bit of a planning of what this is going to look like. The other thing I'm going to do is put railings, because one thing I noticed is the ducks had a hard time like staying on the piece of wood because, they didn't really understand what was going on. So we're going to put little railings on here. I'm thinking they're going to be about an inch tall and just have one little continuous board going up. It's not going to be very big, just kind of nice, small, kind of a border for them to know where to go and where not to go. This is going to be completely made out of scrap wood and just kind of stuff we have laying around the farm that we're not using right now. Like that slide was part of a, it was like a yellow tube for kids to, like for a playground, like you could, crawl through. So, we were going to use that for goats for them to play in, but we never did because it was like, oh, it's way smaller than we thought it was. So, it's just kind of been sitting. So, that's what that is. As for what is just scrap wood around the farm. I'm going to try to find some material. I'm not going to really record it because it's probably really boring. And, I got to look kind of for the right pieces right now. So, yep. Okay, so I did a little bit of work so far. So I found a pallet, an old pallet from the barn. Well, it's not necessarily old, but it's been out there for a while. We don't really use it, so I'm just going to kind of use it, cut it up, and make a little platform for the ducks to sit on before they go down the slide. I also cut this up into half the size. The cut wasn't great, but it works. So basically the reason I cut it down half is, let me grab this. Anyways, enjoy this time lapse of me tearing this pallet apart. Yeah. Okay, so I kind of screwed up a little bit there. So I couldn't really find a crowbar. This is what I found. It's like a mini crowbar. It's not very good. But I was like, well, it should get it out. The nails aren't very big. It shouldn't tear up the wood too much. Well, that's an exact opposite of what happened. It didn't do a really good job. Couldn't really tear it up. Or it actually started tearing up the wood. So, brought in the big guns. This actually has like a little hook here to actually get nails. So hopefully this goes a lot smoother. So we'll see. So I got 2 boards cut. These are 10.5 inches, so they're going to go here and back here. So these boards are going to be cut 12 inches, so a foot. And actually, this board is going to be 12 inches, so this will be on the side of these. Actually, that won't work. I just realized that this is the length of this. However, this has to be able to reach this like this. So it needs to form like a box. So if this is exactly 12 inches, there ain't no way it's going to be able to do that. So this board's going to be slightly larger than 12 inches. So I'm going to have to try to figure out what the size of this board is now, because I already cut those, which those should be fine. It's just this one's going to have to be longer. So I'm cleaning the chick pen right now. As you can see, this is absolutely filthy. This is what, about 2 weeks not cleaning it looks like. So we've been busy the last 2 weeks, so we haven't had a chance to do it. Chickens are fine, but yeah, we're cleaning it today. And here, right here, we have the chicks that, well, our duck chicks that came from the incubator. These will be the first animals ever on this YouTube channel that will go from hatched through the whole entire life process to harvested on this whole entire channel, which is pretty exciting, guys. Can't believe after like a couple years of doing this, so this will be my 2nd year, I'm actually going to show you guys that full process. Anyways, that's how they are. They're just a little scared because they see this big scary object up and they don't know what I am. So they know I either mean food or they know I'm going to come in and bother them a little bit. So they know that. That's why they're kind of like, whoa, man, what are you trying to do? As for the broilers, I wanted to show you guys this. So they're kind of in what I like to call their teenage stage, which is basically the stage they just don't look that great, essentially. As you can see, some of these guys are missing feathers. Some of them are fully gaining feathers, like that one right there that hardly has any feathers. And you might think that's from the chicken fighting or hurting or getting hurt, all that stuff. It's just the process of these chickens growing up. Chickens essentially start off with fur, and essentially that fur comes off, and they get these feathers instead. So in that kind of ugly teenager stage is essentially what I like to call it. But anyways, they'll get out of it pretty soon. Not a lot of people like broilers, but I personally do, just because they were my first animal I ever got to show at the county fair. So, yeah. Basically, after they fully grow all those feathers, they're going to gain weight like crazy. We're 2 weeks from fair, and yeah, they don't look very big, but I promise you after I come back from my DC trip, you will just see these guys absolutely gain weight. Well, I'm going to get back to work. I want to give you guys that little update, so yeah. Alright guys, there's nothing more satisfying than seeing your animal's pens completely clean and just nice. So, yep.